Welcome to Heartfelt with Julie Margerison, a space for honest stories, tender truths, and soul-deep conversations. I'm your host, Julie Margerison, and here we explore the questions that stir something real in us. Questions about joy, fear, healing, and the moments that shape who we are. Each episode is an invitation to slow down, go deeper, and hear the kind of stories that remind us we're not alone in this human experience. So wherever you are right now, thank you for being here. Let's begin. Welcome. I'm so excited with my guest I have on today. I had to wear this dress because Ren and I went shopping down at Mooloolaba and I'm getting all tingles. So hello, Ren. How are you today?
Hi, Julie. I'm well, and I can feel the excitement of talking to you, and also, the the nerves of this is new, and yeah, so I'm a bit bubbly.
Oh, beautiful. Well, I'm going to pop my glasses on and tell the audience all about Ren. Well,
Okay.
maybe a little bit about Ren. Ren Jeske is a somatic expressive art psychotherapist, a facilitator, and a mixed media artist based on the Sunshine Coast. Her work weaves movement, mark making, relational attunement, and nervous system education into embodied creative processes that support people to express what lives beneath the surface. She's the founder of Body of Work, an immersive methodology that invites raw expression, authentic witnessing, and connection to the stories that's held in the body. Ren also supports couples through pact informed therapy, helping partners understand their nervous systems and create more secure, connected relationships. Her creative therapeutic worlds are deeply intertwined, shaped by her own journey through grief, resilience, and returning home to the body. I'm getting goosepimples. Through her therapeutic sessions and workshops, she offers spaces where people can soften, express, rediscover their inherent creativity. Through her own artwork, she offers the same refuge and inquiry to herself. I'm getting goose pimples because I'm having this recall of when I did Body of Work with Ren. I was like on the floor in the canvas, getting all messy and dirty, and it was so amazing. So welcome, Ren.
Thank you so much, and thank you for that introduction. And yeah, it can be a challenge to encapsulate a bio, but yeah, thank you for yours. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, no, that was beautiful. Well, Ren, there's just imagine we're just at a coffee shop like we were a year ago when we bought this dress. No one's listening, and we're
Just
just
you
going to
and
have it.
me.
Yeah, just you and me. We're just
I'm
going
gonna
to
take my
have a
glasses off.
chat.
Yeah,
We're just going
yeah.
to have a chat. And I just want to tell you about this podcast I'm doing. And I asked these 10 questions, but you don't have to answer them all. And if you want to share anything before we start on those questions, please feel free. Is there anything that you'd like to share?
I wasn't expecting that.
It's okay. We
And
can just dive straight in.
I'm enjoying being asked, and I'm also enjoying the little giggle that came from you as I shared that I wasn't expecting it. But no, I just think I'm feeling really honoured to be part of this podcast that you've created and the intention of it. I think I've said to you, it really suits you. And I just think, yes, this is Julie's work. And I I think, yeah, I'm really grateful for the opportunity to be part of it. And now I can feel myself more settling into the idea that we're at a coffee shop and you and I having a chat. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I actually last time I saw Ren, we were actually out for lunch, and this is when Heartfelt with Julie Margerison podcast was just a seed, and I was
mm,
telling Ren about it, and here we are, 6 months later.
yeah, that's the
20.
exciting, that's the bubbles for me, I think. I think, oh, yeah, look at my friend go, and here I am part of it.
Yeah.
I love that idea of, how we and our community lift one another, and we're genuinely interested in one another. So I just love that too.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Mm.
Okay.
Hey,
What brings you joy, Ren?
yeah, this is it's a big question, but it's also has its roots in simplicity as well, because so much brings me joy. And I these days I have I'm quite adept at tapping into joy, and I make it a focus. It's intentional, and seeing joy in small moments. And I think, I mean, I could give examples like, I was thinking the purr of my cat, for example. So um, she purrs so loudly, and she whoops sits really closely, and I can really tap into the rhythm of this purring, and this brings me joy. Another thing is, or another experience is, uh, the dawn chorus, like listening to the birds greet the morning. It just feels so joyous in that moment to feel into my aliveness. It feels so sacred, and it's a really accessible meditation. It's like they're just doing their thing, and I get to, whether I could be still in bed, but I am blessed to live um, in a place where there's just a lot of bird song in the morning, um, and yeah, it's very settling. It enables me to start the day with gratitude.
Hmm,
So
it's
yeah,
beautiful.
nature's just it's a huge resource, and it brings joy every day. Mm. And
Yeah,
my connections and friendships and creativity, so much, right? So much. Yeah.
yeah. That's beautiful
Mm.
awareness that you have, Ren.
I think it comes from my lived experience, and it hasn't always been easy to tap into joy. And I think now it's the fact that I can do that, really pays homage to the healing work that I've dived into for myself over the years. And I honestly see joy in so much. I mean, working with my one-to-one clients, my groups, I just think, oh gosh, I get to do this. It's
Mm.
it's such a privilege, and
Yeah,
a joy. Mm.
yeah, beautiful. Now, do you have a fear that you're aware of that is holding you back?
Well, I am a worrier. So, fear has featured in my life quite consistently. And I was thinking about, what would be a fear that still challenges me in the day to day. It could be, and that would be my fear of being truly seen, like to put myself out in the world, and um, to show up and be seen and heard. I've sort of spent quite a lot of my life, again, due to childhood experiences, hiding under a bushel, hiding um, behind someone else, or you know, companies, corporations, and yeah, just that hiding behind. And so that's a fear that has been with me through the lifespan. And sometimes it really did hold me back. I wouldn't necessarily do things that I wanted to do, or show up at places I wanted to show up at, because of this, this extreme discomfort of being seen. Uh, so that's the fear, and I feel like I've been doing some really heavy lifting to change this for myself. Definitely in the last 12 months, but I'd say the last 10 to 15 years have been it's been the compost from where my courage has grown, and showing up on podcasts. Well, this is the second one that I've actually been lucky enough, or blessed enough to be part of. And so these sorts of things, showing up, speaking, it's wild, because I'm only talking about my story. It's true and authentic for me, and I think that's, so one might think that's easy, but I guess it's the vulnerability part of that we all have to work through as humans. But yeah, so that's what I'm working with. Mm.
Good on you. Thank you for sharing that. Have you ever had a life-changing moment that you'd like to
Mm.
speak about?
Yes, many, many, and that is to be human. I think, and we just really don't know what's around the corner, and we in many instances we can't prepare for that. So I am going to share, the probably the most life changing experience, and that was losing my parents when I was very young, as a teenager. I was 12 and then 14. So, and I can feel that in my body. Just as I talk about that now, I can feel that catch in my chest, and I'm settling myself as I talk about this. And but this experience was, in my dad's case, very sudden, changed the trajectory of my life, my brothers, my mother's, life as we knew it. Just really turned on top of itself. And I think this is also the reason I share this is because it has this experience has sculpted me, intensely, and impacted many years of my younger life, as it did for my brother. But we lost our mum a couple of years after dad. But it just, I think I'm saying this is foundationally, this is kind of foundational change, and it makes me the all the great things about me as a human, as a therapist. It also has shaped all the challenging parts of me. I certainly developed protective parts at this time, and there was a fierce, funny, rebellious part that got me through life after this. So I really relied heavily on these parts that came in to protect me at this time. So,
Yeah.
mm,
It's
mm,
yeah, thank you for sharing that
mm.
vulnerable time in your life. Has there been a moment that you wish you could freeze in time?
Now, this question. So I can just got to say, I can feel my relief moving on from that last
Yeah,
topic. It's really interesting. Just, the where I am at this time in my life, and to this is testament to the fact that the body remembers, the body keeps the score, right? So I knew I was going to talk about this, and yet when I went in there was all of this somatic experiencing. So I just want to honor that for myself. Yeah. And because there is what I honed down into, was that I would actually want to freeze like a hug from my mother and a hug from my father, and just that presence, my mum's laughter, her smile, my dad's I don't know, surety, how he could fill a room, like he had a way with people, and he had humor, all of these bits, that could be held in this hug, because I could have used these hugs frozen in time
mm,
so many times over and over through my lifespan. I feel like that's, what, yeah, I mean, grief takes us in very heartfelt, um, really rough terrain. And I just think, could I, if I had been able to freeze in time, their hugs,
mm.
I could have flourished inside of that in these really, darker times and tough times. So that's my.
Do you have a trigger that you would like to share about?
I have many triggers, as you can imagine. With what I've just shared, it's the trigger I'm going to share is that I really struggle when someone changes arrangements, or yeah, I'd say it's sort of like last minute changes and things like this. I really struggle with that because yeah, of what I've shared, the suddenness of
Mm,
life being turned upside down. But it's something that I have noticed, in close friendships in particular. If I've organized something with somebody and then I get a phone call, no, I can't make it. This feels way beyond disappointing and hurtful at times, beyond what is necessary. And I know that that's really, years and years back in terms of my body sensations that come up and things that I might believe. But yeah, it's really that I can't uh, catch myself in those moments with sudden change. But that is life, and I've learned to work with that, of course. But that's a trigger that I wanted to
Yeah.
share. But just know there are many more.
I just want to talk about something that Ren was a part of. And I got married July last year, and Ren was trying to organize this group get together, and she'd organized it, and I was backwards and forwards trying to get the right date. And I didn't know that I had a surprise bridal shower organized, and I was like going to Ren's get together, and all this stuff was happening behind the scenes that I didn't even know about. And Ren bloody cancelled the lunch date.
It's so uncomfortable.
And it's like, bloody hell, what are we going to do now? And Russell said, it's okay, we'll just go out for lunch. And I'm going, okay. And I'm thinking, we've been waiting for this bloody thing for Ren. Anyway, I go to this so-called lunch with my husband, and he kind of took me like to this park. And I was like, why are we going to this park? And then I found out it was my bridal shower, and Ren was there, and I'm getting goose pimples. And it's like, oh my God, yeah. So it was just crazy.
Yeah.
So it's funny how you're talking about that. And it was like, I kind of felt the same. It's like, what the bloody hell?
Did
How
you?
come
It
yeah.
resonated. It was really uncomfortable to do. I felt so impacted by it. And I was so relieved when you turned up. I was like, oh yeah, so this is what it's all been about. It's like, yes, okay. But yeah, in the doing of that, because of my own situation and how I would respond to something like that, I was like, oh, for the greater good, Ren, for the greater good. This is okay.
I know it was so funny, but and now you're talking about it. So yeah, it was
Yeah.
beautiful. And we still have not got together with the group of friends that we wanted to get to. I think Ren's scarred. But anyway, she might tackle it in 2026.
Yeah.
Anyway, if a genie jumped out of the bottle and granted you one wish, what would that be?
Mm. Like, oh gosh, again, these are such meaty questions, really. Um, yeah, and that's where I started to talk about, is it, you know, what is the right thing to say? And my therapist self comes on and goes, oh, say something for humanity, and then parts of me and I'm like, oh, it's okay to wish something for yourself, and then there are younger parts too that are like um, screaming out to me, pick me. So I did quite a process around this, to be honest. I thought, yeah, I could say, um, I wish something for humanity. And I think that would be, I did hone it down, but I'll just share a little bit of my process. But that would be about, something about attending to the disconnection that I feel humans are really experiencing at the moment, um, even if they don't know it. But I just think there is a lot of, disconnected humans. And so then I sort of jumped towards, all right, well, for myself and that means for myself and working with other humans that I be held um, you know safely and be able to have my health and do the awesome things that I imagine, and meet goals and all of that, and that has a ripple effect for humanity as well because of the work I'm involved in. But then I did come back to my younger self, and she's really I wanted to listen to her because she was going pick me. And so what I came up with was I would ask for some time with my mum and dad. I don't know, wasn't specific about the time, but it might even be a day. And for having that experience from my adult, most resourced self today. And I thought it would really allow me, well, number one, it would be, those hugs, those things that I remember about my parents. There's a lot that I don't. But it would fill in a lot of gaps, I feel, and join dots for me. And I thought it would just be like, I imagine it to be a really rich conversation. And so to meet them again just for a day would offer some kind of healing and corrective experience. So I think that is what I really
Hmm.
landed on as
Yeah.
if a genie could give me that, that would be incredible.
Yeah, well, that was a
Mm.
great process that you went through. Isn't it amazing about, should I do this? Should I do that? That self-judgment and
All of that.
getting it right and yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for being
So
raw about that.
don't
Is
judge me. Yeah.
no,
No.
no, no judgment here.
No judgment. Yeah.
No.
No.
Is there something that you've never said out loud that you wish someone would ask you about?
This this is tricky for me, not because I'm an open book, but because of this hiding, that I spoke about at the beginning. There would be, I almost get a little bit overwhelmed by that question because it's
It's
like, oh,
okay.
I
You
could
don't have to
say this
answer
or
it.
say that. Well, I do have it. I'm being, you know, truthful and transparent about because I have had little processes around all of these questions, and I think I'd the question would be, in the absence of your parents, who are the people that guided you and inspired you and held you through the seasons of your life. I'd say that would be the question. And the reason I say that is because I think there's just so many people that stepped into my life that because I was in the chaos of it, it's not till now and really that of course I remember people for their kindness, but this question really kind of stepped me into gratitude because I'm like, wow, there's been so many people that stepped in at times, where, maybe I didn't even know I needed help really, or didn't have the words to ask. It's kind of spiraling, rebelling, um, all sorts of kind of, behaviors that were a little, self-abandoning. So it was really wonderful to have this question to go, oh, I would love to honor these people. And if we've got time, I'd like to just go through them a little bit. And, one being my grade 11 and 12 art teacher who,
Just excuse me a moment, just to give the remember no one else is listening to this. But if there was someone who happened to listen, how old were you, Ren, when your dad passed away and your mum passed away?
yeah, so 12 when my dad passed away, and that was suddenly because he died in a car accident. And, that day is, just very clearly etched. And, um, and then 14 when my mum passed of cancer. Yeah. So young. Mm,
Mm. Yeah. Sorry.
mm.
Sorry. Back to
No,
your
that's okay.
grade 11 teacher.
Yeah, my art teacher, because again, I had a very dysregulated nervous system for many years, and still have to work with it, right? But it's I've got so much more capacity. But when I think of this teenage part, she found mm, the art room was like a haven, solace, where I didn't have to be seen by my peers in the playground. And this was quite depressed. I was quite depressed. Didn't know what was going on really. And the art room became this grounded place. So I'd go there at lunch times, but also she and actually many other adults. I decided to do a relief sculpture, which was a representation of my father's death in a car accident. So it was very raw, very ambitious, and authentic. And I was allowed to do it. Like, I just want to,
Mm.
I think her name was Mrs. Henshaw, but just to say, this person didn't bring her own fears and judgments on. She was like, yeah, I was supported in this. And other people who, because I wanted to cast it in metal. Like, how old am I? 17, yeah, 18. I'm like, yeah, that's what I want to do. And then just all these people came online and helped me. And it didn't quite work out in the end, but just to be able to do that, go through that process um, authentically, it was incredibly healing. So there's her. I want to honor the women and um, humans that have shown up along the way, and oh, just anchored me somehow. And they won't even know, most likely, that they've had this impact. In fact, I had a dream one night that all I think, all the women that
Mm.
had somehow helped me through my life, were in circle. And I thought, I'm going to write about this one day. And I still haven't, but I just thought that, it'll have to happen one day, where I am honoring these women that were sitting around the fire. But, and so many people. But and then there's my husband, who, when I met him, I still had that rebellious part moving through me, protecting me, operating in unhelpful ways. And he's a very sort of salt of the earth kind of man, and he's loved me through really, like, a lot. And he's loyal, grounded, and very supportive. And when I met him, it was like coming home.
Mm.
And you know
Beautiful.
yeah, so this is just some people that I wanted to honor through this question. And
Mm.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, thank you very, very much.
Mm.
I wonder if you could send a message back to your younger self, a message, not advice, what would that be?
Mm. I think it would be more encouragement, that she can soften, she can rest, um, and I just let her know that I really value her
Mm.
resourcefulness, her tenacity. I'm going to use a word from way back when, but her spunk, and her
Oh, I get goose pimples. Yeah.
yeah, just her ability to move through life, and she's been quite a go-getter, to be honest. And which is the paradox between being a go-getter and not wanting to be seen. But this is alive in me, and of course I just want to know her to know what a great human
Mm.
she is, and look at everything that she's oh yeah, it's emotional, but everything
Yeah.
that she's
I've got wetness happening
experienced.
here.
And yeah, me, yeah, it's just love her so much. Mm,
That's just
mm.
beautiful.
So resourceful, this young one. Mm,
Hmm. What
mm.
does healing look like for you right now?
Yeah. So healing is a few things right now. It's coming back to creativity. That's my roots. It was a resource as a child, and it has been, on and off through the lifespan. But I feel like to come full circle is to really embody this, you know, creative um, person that I am, and all that is wrapped up in that. And it's also coming to peace with death. There's a real theme, and that's a real piece for me because I have not. I've been fearful of death, as you can imagine, throughout, since my dad died. So it's to come to some peace with this, and have this healing, this experience um, of knowing that I'm going to meet death, and allow it to inform how I live now, and you know, be raw, be wild, dance, have adventures. This is the flip side of facing the fear of death.
Yeah. I feel so honored to be holding space here for you, Ren, and I can feel how much you have unpacked to
Mm,
and it's been such a
me
beautiful
too.
process. And I hope you can give yourself some lovely space to be with self after this, after I stop this recording, so you can actually
Yeah.
just embrace what has come up and what has been witnessed. And
Yes.
if
I can notice that I've got this little hand on the shoulder thing going on. It's like it's almost like I got you. And yes, we're
yeah,
going to spend some, yeah, these are parts of me when I say we, but it's just,
yeah,
yeah, we'll
I just
we'll
feel
spend some
God.
time. You what, Futs?
I
You
just
what?
feel
What?
guides around you. I feel like
Yeah,
this hug and someone standing behind you and just being there with you. And yeah,
thank you,
it's so,
Julie, for sharing that. Because yeah, there's something here. It's like, I
yeah,
don't know whether it's oh yeah, whether it's
yeah,
like it just feels like I'm holding a hand, but it's my shoulder, and it's, yeah,
yeah.
feels
I feel
very
like
alive
it's
in me right now.
yeah, I feel like it's a little bit more than in you. I feel like it's around you.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And
Thank you.
I'm just so honored. And if anyone wants to know more about Ren, all her details are in the descriptions below. And her body of work really unearths so much in me. and I haven't even got words to know what that was, but it's just had a huge shift in my nervous system, and it was simply amazing. So body of work is is amazing, because I grew up thinking that I couldn't do art, and it was just nice to actually see, and that the process that I went through of that self-judgment, and how you think it should look perfect, but who's perfect? And yeah, so thank you once again, Ren, and I really, really appreciate you sharing your story. And
I appreciate the opportunity. I was just thinking I have to come back and we have to talk about body of work. It's just like it's
yeah,
interesting how it's, when you're looking, for a fill in maybe sometime,
oh no,
I could come back, but
please
it's
don't see it. Please don't see it as a fill-in. It'll be so enlightening. Oh, this is the plan. 2026, I'll have revisits of people who can go
yeah,
deeper about what they can offer. And
yeah.
and even when you say about writing about the circle of people who have been in your life, goodness, I'd
Mm,
love you to share that on the podcast.
mm.
Yeah, that's just like,
Well,
wow, I want to be part of that. Yeah.
yeah, you are. So
No, no,
it's
no,
like,
but I mean like listening to the story. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, I understand. But yeah, just it's interesting. And that's again, it's just the parts that come out and go, oh, maybe I could be a filler.
No,
No,
you're not a filler.
body of work has got so much, momentum behind it. So I would love to come back and talk about that
Yeah.
sometime. But
I
thank you for
will.
sharing your experience. It was
I will.
really a privilege.
Yeah, I'm not sure if any of you like search on my social media about when I did body work. I had stuff all over
Profound.
me. Anyway, it was amazing. So do a little search on my Facebook page or Insta, and even on YouTube, and you'll actually see see how I looked. But thank you for sharing this moment with us. I hope something in this conversation stayed with you, opened something up in you, or simply made you feel seen. If this episode moved you, feel free to share it with someone who might need it too. And if you'd like to continue the journey with us, be sure to subscribe and stay connected. Until next time, take care of your heart and remember, your story matters. Thanks, Ren.
Thanks, Julie. Talk to you soon.